Emotional manipulation. Fix internal conflicts. You are probably used to hearing about emotional manipulation. You know what it looks like and the victims it leaves behind. It is undoubtedly a type of behavior that is very harmful to the victim. What makes it so dangerous is that it is silent, difficult to detect. A person who uses emotional manipulation has everything perfectly mapped out in his head. He knows his prey's weaknesses, and knows how to get past any defense to get what he wants. Getting what he wants may mean he himself looks like the victim, and that the other person seems guilty. He wants the other person to admit she is wrong and go along with whatever the manipulator wants. Emotional manipulators also get what they want when they can create certain emotions in the other person to benefit their own interests. The plan, as we mentioned earlier, is fully planned. They will have no problem doing whatever it takes to bend the other person's will and get what they want. Emotional manipulation often stems from cognitive dissonance. You probably know that emotional manipulators use what psychologists call cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance refers to an internal conflict that occurs in our mind when we harbor two thoughts that are not consistent, or when a thought does not fit into our beliefs or our behavior. This internal conflict, that is, the tension that eats up our thoughts, has a strange result. The brain does whatever it can to avoid this cognitive alienation that we have slipped into without realizing it. This sense of inner inconsistency disturbs us so much that we will do whatever it takes to get rid of it. We need to feel the inner connection between our thoughts and our feelings, between our beliefs and our attitudes, between the way we think and the way we act. When we stand at this crossroads, we want to get away from it at any cost, even if it means deceiving ourselves. Emotional manipulation is cognitive dissonance's best trick. As mentioned earlier, humans will do whatever it takes to avoid spending time with this unpleasant feeling that takes over our body. We avoid awareness of information that increases dissonance, and we turn a deaf ear to anything that can destabilize us further. Emotional manipulators know how to act when faced with cognitive dissonance. They cultivate self-deception to achieve their goals. For example, there are people who feel unable to end a romantic relationship. They will do everything they can to get their partner to end the relationship instead. George wants to leave Maria because he has just met a woman with whom he has a special connection. Maria, who knows nothing about this, does not want to leave him because she is in love with him. In this situation, George will do everything in his power to make Maria leave him and end the relationship. Later, he will make her feel like she is solely responsible for the breakup. No, it was you who left me. I never said anything. Manipulators transfer blame to the other person, feel that they are exonerated. George now finds himself in an uncomfortable situation. It arises because what he wants to be, faith, collides with what he is at the moment, unfaithful. To solve this problem, George chooses to manipulate Maria emotionally so that she has to fix the situation, ends up being the culprit. Maria probably has no idea what is really going on. Because very few of us can understand why our partners act like this. On the other hand, George may not be fully aware of his own behavior. George doesn't think he can end this relationship that he wants to end, and certainly not now that he has met another woman. He doesn't want to be the executioner of the relationship. So he will do whatever it takes to protect himself and leave the relationship as the victim. By not accepting reality or taking responsibility, he will manipulate Maria until he sees results, not caring much about how she is suffering. If it's Maria who leaves him, he doesn't have to feel guilty for wanting to leave her for someone else. It would look pretty bad, and could backfire on him later. If Maria leaves him, He resolves his own internal conflict and ends up taking advantage of the situation. Emotional manipulation is born out of cognitive chaos. The mind will do whatever it takes to find a way out of cognitive dissonance. One will find an executioner, a guilty party who will make the manipulator look like the victim or place them in a situation that justifies their thoughts or behavior. The other person will always be the culprit. In the end, emotional manipulators are always the hapless victims in their relationships.